ICRT, FM 100, Taipei, Taichung, and Kaohsiung. Your news, Taiwan and the world.
Good afternoon, it's 4 o'clock. I'm Nancy Sutton with the top of the hour news. In Taiwan news, the Ministry of Transportation is gearing up to defend flight safety. The International Air Safety Summit is set to take place in Taiwan next year, and Deputy Minister Wang Guocai says the MOTC will find an opportunity then to decry political interference in that realm. This is a response to China's unilateral launch of the M503 flight route earlier this year, which lies very close to Taiwan's air defense identification zone. Wang says flight safety is a universal value and should not be threatened by politics. He also notes that Taiwan will take part in the summit under the name Chinese Taipei. College tuition may very well rise in the new school year. The Ministry of Education says 11 universities, mostly private ones, have applied to raise their tuition and fees by 2.5 to nearly 4%. Another two schools, National Zhongxing University and Shijiang University, will send their applications documents in by the end of the day. Education officials say the ministry's tuition review committee will scrutinize all those applications and announce the results before summer vacation begins. They stress that the MOE won't necessarily agree to the increases in tuition that those schools wish for, saying they will take many factors into consideration. College tuition has been frozen for over a decade, with a private university student paying some 48,000 NT a semester. And the Eswatini King is coming to Taiwan next month. King Mswati III will be here to attend the graduation ceremony of his son, who is studying in Taiwan. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs says it welcomes Mswati's visit and responded to media questions about any possible deals signed between Taiwan and Eswatini, saying the ministry has received no such information. Mofo did say that current cooperation projects between the two sides are going smoothly. Meanwhile, Mofo says that President Tsai Ing-wen and Haitian President Jovenel Moise will sign an agreement to form a high-level working group that will form a plan on how to help Haiti improve its economic development, infrastructure, and attract investment within 30 days. In international news, the Russian foreign minister has arrived in Pyongyang to hold talks with his North Korean counterpart. Jessica King reports from Moscow.
Mr. Lavrov has said the solution to the Korean Peninsula's nuclear issue cannot be fully addressed unless sanctions against Pyongyang are lifted. Russia's foreign minister is holding talks with his North Korean counterpart, Ri Yong-ho, about steps to ensure peace and stability in the region. Russia has welcomed the summits between Pyongyang and Seoul, which have already taken place, and the planned meetings between the leadership of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea and the United States. Jessica King, Moscow.
The WHO is marking its World No Tobacco Day with a set of initiatives to address the impact of tobacco on public health. The World Health Organization says the focus this year is tobacco and heart disease, with a campaign to raise awareness of the link between tobacco and heart and other cardiovascular diseases. The organization states that cardiovascular diseases kill more people than any other cause of death worldwide. The World Health Body says it will also work to encourage governments to take measures to reduce the risk to heart health. And back here in Taiwan and looking at the weather across the island this afternoon, we can expect partly cloudy skies with occasional showers or thunder showers in the north and east, and partly cloudy to mostly clear skies in the center and south. Current temperatures now, Taipei 35, Taichung 33, Kaohsiung and Hualien both 32 degrees. And that was the ICRT News at 4 with me, Nancy Sun.
Hey, hello everybody. I invite you to share the culture and art of Latin America.
Hello everybody. I am DJ Jorge.
Hi. Okay, I'm turning that down because Leslie's
distracting me.
Sorry. Hi, everyone.
Hi, and welcome to the ICRT Web News Hour for 4 o'clock. We do this every Tuesday and every Thursday after the 4 o'clock news. And we chat about news, chat about what's going on in Taiwan, answer any questions you may have, sometimes poorly, but please, we do welcome your questions.
But first, let's shout out some Julian. What up, Julian? Zhang Pei. I can understand your English. Nancy, you speak very clearly.
Oh, thank
What up, Dylan? What up, Derek? Wu Kang Zhang, what's up? Jing Katie, what's up? Sullivan PJM, what's up? Sam Wu, good to see you back here, man.
Hey, Sam.
Daphne, hi, Daphne. Wow, everybody's talking. Vivian, hello, Vivian.
Hi.
Oh, she said hello, Nancy, specifically to you.
Also, hello to Leslie.
Sullivan PJM.
It's not always about you, Leslie.
I know, I'm sorry. Okay, so we got a lot of people watching today, but
Yay.
let's talk news as we always do. And remember, like always, you guys' questions, comments, always welcome.
Yeah.
Join us on the conversation.
Yeah, sure. Or tell us what you know, too, because, there's no way we know everything.
Yes.
Even though we try to. Okay. First story
Hello,
first.
Lynn.
Hi, Lynn. First story, the Ministry of Transportation. Basically, they're getting ready for the International Air Safety Summit, which is happening a couple months down the line in November. And this is an international convention that's held by the Flight Safety Foundation. And that foundation is basically... Well, it says it's an independent organization. It's based in the United States, but it has members from airlines, businesses, industries from all around the world. And they want to contribute to flight safety. They say they're impartial, independent, and they give expert safety guidance and resources.
Okay. Hello, Steffi. Hello, Maymay. So this is an international thing, right? So it's not limited to Taiwan.
Not limited to Taiwan, not limited to the United States. Supposed to be politics-free, just focusing on improving safety in aviation and aerospace industries.
Okay.
So basically that summit is happening, and Taiwan is attending as Chinese Taipei. And then...
Hey there, Cooney.
Hi, Cooney. That's okay. And then our officials in Taiwan, they're saying that they will attend with a delegation, of course, and they will use that opportunity to bring up the issue of Taiwan and its airspace not being invaded, but, coming under increasing pressure from China.
So it's in Taiwan, but Taiwan's delegation still needs to go as Chinese Taipei?
Yes. That's the official title, which we will attend under.
I'm going to not say much. Okay, so what is this M503 flight route?
It's basically one of the few flight routes that... You say route, I say route.
Hi, Vivian.
Vivian. Hi to you too, Leslie. You're so nice. Okay, anyway. So it's one of the many flight routes that China announced that it would start operating a couple months back. And then basically it flies very close to Taiwan's air identification zone, which is the zone where, other countries are supposed to identify themselves. You're supposed to have authorization to enter that area.
Right.
So it's not technically infringing on... Taiwan sovereignty, I suppose, but it's, kind of testing the waters, being really close. And then Taiwan is protesting this move based on the fact that it could be, a danger. It could be dangerous because, planes could potentially fly very close together.
Where does it get really close to Taiwan? In the north or the south?
In the Taiwan Strait, somewhere in the Taiwan Strait. So
okay. So where is this going to fly to, this flight route?
I think it's going to multiple different parts of the country. Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna look after that's sad. That makes me a little sad. That we're hosting this international conference, but we still need to go as Chinese Taipei.
Just like the Taipei Universiade, although that wasn't technically by country, but Chinese Taipei. But it's an opportunity for Taiwan to speak on an international level,
true.
Any of these opportunities are valuable.
Okay. Is anything military about this? Any military concerns?
Military concerns? You mean is the military involved in this?
Is this just civilian aeronautics?
I'm sure anytime China is involved in any way, it's always a concern to the military. But for now, it's just passenger planes.
Next,
civilian airplanes.
Let's move on to something that might concern the students. that are listening in.
That's right. So the Ministry of today was the deadline for colleges and universities to apply to raise their tuition. They have to apply for permission to the Ministry of Education. And then so the Ministry of Education today, they say 11 universities or colleges have applied.
Right.
And then they're going to, of course, look over the proposal, see if it's necessary and approve or, not approve of these changes. Actually, okay, so the tuition rate would be raised by 2.5 to 4%. And actually earlier today, this morning, there was a protest by students. There's a group of students who went to the Ministry of Education down near the 228 Peace Park, and then they actually they were protesting, and then towards the end they sort of forced their way into the Ministry of Education building, and then they scuffled with the police, and some had to be carried out. And I think there were a couple who were arrested.
Is this still going on right now?
It's not going on right now. It was this morning. But what they were asking for, they wanted a tuition freeze of 3 years, and then they also wanted miscellaneous fees to be lowered.
Well, I gotta say, it's kind of nice in Taiwan, where you need to apply to raise your tuition.
Right.
In America, I had to pay 3 times a year. Because we did it every quarter, not semester. Semester is 学期, so it was like 上年期.
Right.
I had to pay for 3 times a year, and when I first went in, it was $1,800 US per quarter for my tuition. My last quarter at my school, I paid over $4,000 US.
Holy smokes.
So that was an increase of almost 100 somewhat %.
Did you go to university in your home state? Because that makes a difference too. That's the cheaper way to do it, right? If you go to university somewhere in a state that's not your home state, that's like double, triple the tuition?
It's triple.
Triple the tuition.
Well, no, I'm sorry. It's double if you are out of state,
right,
and it's triple if you're international.
Yeah. I think it's triple if you're out of country in Canada too.
So that's what I'm saying. This is kind of nice, and I really like Taiwan's activism. When it comes to these things. Yeah, I mean, students get up in arms, and it's kind of nice. So wait, college tuition has been frozen for over a decade, with a private university student paying some 48,000 NT a semester.
On average.
Yeah. Is NTU private?
No, NTU is public.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's quite expensive to study abroad. Oh, yeah.
I'll say.
Have you ever studied abroad, Nancy?
When I went to university in Canada, I am a Canadian citizen, so I was on the domestic student tuition, but I know from my friends from other countries that they were paying triple what I was paying, and it was quite expensive, and that's on top of room and board. If you're not living at home, then, and I wasn't living at home either, you have to rent. It's hard to, because it was in downtown Toronto, so it's hard to get an apartment. So first year you lived in student res, and then after that you're on your own looking for an apartment. An apartment's like, a studio apartment's like, this is a long time ago, okay, but a studio apartment's like 1,000 Canadian dollars a month, and you can't afford that on a part-time student salary.
Okay.
Anyway.
So there's no more protest. It's all.
Well, we'll have to see. The Ministry of Education is saying it'll take some time to evaluate the applications. So...
Here's another question. Does this have anything to do with the resignation of the Education Minister, Umao Kun?
Does it? I don't think so. I think these universities, they decided that they needed to cover costs, and so they applied. Now, what the Ministry of Education decides, that's to be seen. Yeah.
I freaked out, like, literally.
What?
About tuition.
Oh.
It's because, like, studying here is all... I mean, I'm not going to say every student has trouble, right?
Yeah,
But in the States, I'm just trying to say, my tuition fees doubled. And here, people are getting up in arms about 2.5. This is what happens when people get involved, Nancy. And this is true democracy.
I'm still sensing that this session is starting to derail.
No, okay. Let's move on to...
Cai Yuezhen says, hello, good
afternoon.
Yeah, okay. And then Chen Bo... Feng, I think, says, he's giving us the eyes. He's giving us side eye.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Okay. All right.
Next month, Eswatini King is coming. So this is something we discussed in our news special.
Okay.
About the Burkina Faso break relations.
Speaking of which, Burkina Faso, I think it has established formal ties with China. Remember?
that-
that was over the weekend. Remember, like, on Friday, we were like, well, they haven't officially declared that they were establishing
and then right when we
ties.
said it, they're just like, oh, it's like we reminded Burkina Faso, like, oh my goodness, we totally forgot.
It's like a bad breakup.
Okay.
Anyway, and so the Eswatini King is coming to Taiwan next month for his son's graduation.
Right. Let's talk about Eswatini,
Okay.
formerly Swaziland.
Uh-huh.
Formerly Swaziland.
And apparently, Eswatini is spelled with a lowercase e
Yeah.
and an uppercase s.
Yeah. It's like our production Mark,
Right.
our copywriter, he
Right.
said it's like an iPhone product. He's like a
Right.
small I, big P, H-O-N-E.
Yeah.
Funny.
Well, each country is free to name itself what it wants. Just like Gambia is the Gambia, which always throws me when I'm reading it.
Jack Tricia says, 嗨嗨，怎么办？一般都听不懂。
听不懂，多听一下，多听几次就会听得懂更多啦。
Nancy's a teacher.
Hello.
And then Dylan Sue says, good to hear other countries' leader is about to come to Taiwan. This isn't just... There was like a vice prime minister from the St. Kitts and Nevis.
Ooh.
St. Christopher was here, I think.
A while back, and then right?
Yeah.
And then the prime minister from the Solomon Islands.
Yeah, he came recently.
Rick Hoenepuela,
Yeah.
if I'm pronouncing it.
I hung out with the prime minister of Solomon Islands before.
Hung out just casually.
Yeah, his
Right.
name is he was Manasseh Sogavare. He got removed from office.
Good.
So
I mean, not good, but okay.
yeah, poor. So I was like, oh, I don't know anybody now.
Leslie's got a lot of interesting tidbits because he
Okay,
used to work at Mofo.
so King Mswati III, he's gonna be
Yes.
here. He has some official business.
Yes.
His son is here.
Yes.
One of his sons is here studying in Taiwan.
Right.
And his son's about to graduate, so he's gonna come here to attend his son's graduation.
Right.
While that happens, they're also going to do some official business. Tsai obviously has invited him to have talks, have some lunch.
Right. I don't think Mofo has made any official announcements on what their plans are or what they're going to talk about. Probably because they'll announce that when the time gets closer and they have official things to announce.
So they only say that questions, and there's no plans to sign any treaties, any.
But this is okay. I think this is next month though,
Yeah.
and I think like Mofo would be very eager to announce any kind of joint agreement, MOUs, whatever between Taiwan and other diplomatic allies. So when it comes up, I think they will announce it. But right now, it's happening next month, so nothing's been confirmed for sure.
Okay. Didn't we sign something with Haiti recently?
Well, Haiti's president was here, and I massacred the pronunciation of his name.
Okay.
Jovenel Moise.
Uh-huh.
People keep saying like Moise, but I don't think
Or
it's
is it
Moise.
Moise? Like, 'cause it's French,
it's French,
right?
Yeah. Sorry. Okay.
We're an English radio station, Nancy. We're not French.
No, we're supposed to pronounce all the names properly. Anyway,
Okay.
I will correct that.
How are you guys' Chinese so good? Well, we studied a little bit.
Yeah.
We spoke it at home.
Speaking at home, not way worse than how you guys speak Chinese.
Jason Yang, I love such conversations right after each hourly news. Thanks, guys. Well, this isn't just meant to be a conversation between me and Nancy. If you guys can jump in at any time if you want,
I don't want to
ask
keep talking
questions.
to Leslie.
Come on, Nancy. Okay. So what they signed with the Haitian prime president was a memorandum of communicade. Is it called?
Communique?
Communique?
They signed a communique. Yeah.
Okay. And there's also like a memorandum of understanding, which bodes kind of well, right, for relations with Haiti and I guess Swaziland. Swaziland and Taiwan, I guess, are pretty tight friends.
Yeah, yes. I also find it a little bit interesting that, with a string of allies leaving us, all of a sudden we're, inundated with diplomatic visits.
Yeah.
It didn't seem to happen with this frequency, a couple months back, but I don't know. We'll have to see what happens.
Tell you. Okay. French. Samu says French in Canada. Yeah, you know what? Of all people who should have been able to pronounce a French name, Nancy, you are on the hook.
Guilty.
Okay, let's
My
move to
French is
international news.
Okay, the Russian Foreign Minister, Sergei Lavrov, he is in North Korea, and he's holding talks with his North Korean counterpart, Ri Yong-ho.
Yeah.
Supposedly, they're talking about bilateral issues and the situation on the Korean Peninsula. It's been like a whole couple of months of power plays between the United States and China and North Korea and South Korea, and then all of a sudden I'm feeling like Russia is kind of not jumping on the bandwagon, but is trying to make its voice heard.
Does this have anything to do with the summit that's happening with Trump and Kim Jong-un next month?
Who knows, right? On the surface, they're saying it doesn't. They're talking about issues between their countries, but how can it not? How can it not?
Yeah,
you know?
they're such... They're in the spotlight now.
Yeah.
Dylan Sue says, I'm glad to hear we still have some allies willing to pay us some visits, even though I got such a hard time spelling their country's name. You know what? That's the funny thing. Like, I could tell you, at any given time, there's a lot of people visiting in Taiwan. Like, America will visit Taiwan. Delegations from Europe will be here. Canada will all be here. South America, even. It's just that they don't have formal ties with us.
Yeah, and it also depends on, I mean, you know, a prime minister or a president visiting is different from the minister of some department.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, so
different
nothing...
levels.
So Russia jumping on the North Korean bandwagon.
Yeah, there's it's interesting what Russia's intentions are towards North Korea. It officially supported UN sanctions against North Korea for nuclear ballistic missile testing, but it's also been accused of violating those sanctions and providing oil and oil imports to North Korea. So we'll have to wait and see what their intentions are.
Okay.
Sam Wu says, which country has the longest name?
I could tell you that.
St. Kitts and Nevis?
Their full name, of our allies, their full name is St. Christopher and Nevis.
Oh, St. Christopher and Nevis. Why is it shortened to Kitts?
Kitts, just because you don't want to spell it out all the time.
Why wouldn't you say St. Chris and the Nevis? St. Chris and Nevis.
So in Chinese, we call them Sun Ke, right, for short. Because their full name is Seng Ke Li Si Duo Fu Yu Ni Wei Si.
Oh, yeah, that is long.
Yeah, so like if you are hosting an event and you have to say the whole thing, people are going to fall asleep by the time you even get to and.
Interesting to know.
There you go. Okay, WHO World No Tobacco Day.
Oh, okay, right. So May 31st is officially the World Health Organization's World No Tobacco Day. And basically they're using this day to start a year of campaigns. And this year's theme is Tobacco Breaks Hearts. So they're talking about tobacco and its effect on cardiovascular health and heart disease and that kind of thing. Yeah, smoking is bad for you.
Okay.
Stop doing it.
For...
Leslie's like, what
are you looking at me for? What are you looking at me for?
They also want people to know that tobacco kills up to half of its users eventually, and upwards of 7 million people a year die from tobacco.
That's a lot of people.
6 million of that 7 million is direct, people who smoke themselves, and then a lot of
secondhand smoke.
Yeah, a lot of the rest is secondhand smoke. People who've never smoked a day in their lives, but have inhaled secondhand smoke.
All right, and that was all that we had today, right?
Yeah, we had another story that I did not read. Okay. There's a beach in Thailand. It's made famous by the movie The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio in it. And it's being closed for 4 months a year to help the environment recover from the influx of tourists.
It would be nice if Taiwan kind of did that. Because as far as I know, Kenting is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
24 hours a day?
I don't know 24 hours a day, but it's like you can always access it, right? It's year round.
Yeah.
How many letters are there? The country with the longest name? I don't know. I've never stopped to count. I probably have. I just forgot.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Have you ever been down to Kenting?
I have once for a festival, or a couple of times for like festivals and stuff, and I think it's a beautiful place to visit, but the crowds kill me. I support
Thailand's decision actually.
Right.
Because like tourists are animals. I'm not saying but like generally speaking, right? If you correlate tourism with like kind of the destruction of places, you've seen people there's stories of people in America like defacing national parks. They'll graffiti in like hiking trails and stuff like that.
Yeah.
People will like break off pieces of rock to take home, which destroys the environment. And I am pro this. At Boracay in the Philippines, President Rodrigo Duterte from there, he shut that place down because he was just like, this is unsustainable.
Yes, and even in Japan, like in Arashimaya in Kyoto, the bamboo grove forest, there was a report a while ago that said people were carving their names. Whoever has been here, whoever loves whoever, you know, like it's like high school.
Okay, can you speak a bit of Thai? Samu, I can't, and I won't even try.
That's all I know.
Yeah, I can't. I won't even try because it's gonna get offensive.
This is turning into like a language test.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all we had for today.
Weather-wise, starting to get cooler this evening. You should expect temperature highs to be 27 degrees tomorrow.
I said yesterday that I think Taiwan this July is gonna hit 40 degrees. I don't want to. Look, God. I'm not saying like I hope it'll happen. I'm just saying with it being this hot right now.
We were so close already in May.
Yeah.
We were up to like 37 or 38 degrees in some parts of the island during certain times of the day. Yeah. So it could happen. It could totally
Guys,
happen.
be careful with power consumption.
Yeah.
Because we're already at 95% of electricity capacity.
Right.
So I think yesterday Miaoli was already experiencing whatchamacallit? Blackouts.
Right. There was a blackout in Miaoli. I think it only happened for like a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was even before we hit a red alert for power consumption. It was
also, weren't there 2 typhoons forming out in the like near Philippines and the South China Sea? What happened to that?
There's one that's closer, and it's only a tropical. I don't think it's officially become a typhoon. It's still a tropical depression, and it's the Central Weather Bureau is still keeping an eye on it.
Okay, great.
Julianne Cho says, like high school, I don't do that at all, though. Good for you. Yeah, let's all not do that. Sam Wu, cool down a bit. Yeah. Great. Yes.
No, any rain?
Rain is expected in the forecast.
Okay.
It's supposed to be the plum rains.
Yeah, there's no rains right now. It's concerning. Anyway, thank you guys. That was web news. Ooh, we went overtime a little bit today.
Holy smokes. Okay.
Yeah, but thank you guys. Join us again next Tuesday. And any more questions or comments, leave it down there. I'll try and get back to you. But for now, peace. Last one. Wait. Sin Yu Cheng, don't go to the beach and tell them because the movie The Beach kind of missed the point of the movie. Isn't there a movie about finding your adventure?
Yeah,
it's
so
kind of true.
It's so true.
All right, guys. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Sam.